So I'm not sure why I haven't shared this story before, but I remembered it the other day and I was like, this is gonna be so good for my community here because I can guarantee you can probably relate on some level. So when I was in like junior kindergarten, senior kindergarten, I had like two best friends. Um, but both of them moved away and it was so heart shattering for me. These, especially my one best friend, oh my gosh, him and I, we had such a beautiful friendship and we were so close. Like he was like one of my safe spaces. I loved his mom too. Like we had such a good, great relationship. But when he moved away, like I was just so sad. And I went into grade one and I just noticed that I wasn't making a lot of friends. I was constantly like walking around the yard with the teachers and I remember just feeling so sad. Like I can just even picture like little Sammy walking down with her head and but I love like honestly I'm so grateful for those teachers. Like shout out to Miss Kirky. I know that I don't think she's here anymore. But um she helped me so much. Like she was always so kind to me. She would speak to me and I absolutely loved her. But there was a long period, I think probably from like grade one to grade 4 or 5, where I didn't have a lot of friends, or the friends that I was choosing were maybe not the healthiest and it wouldn't last very long. And so um, it all started to change when, again, like these timelines are like very general, but probably around grade like 4, 5, 6, maybe. And I truly think it's because I just started to come out of my shell and I was like, okay, I always led with my heart. That was one thing with me is I always led with my heart. And I started to see people start to gravitate towards me. And I think it had to do with me like maturing as well too. And I started to make really great friends. I had a new friend come in around this time as well too, and he was my best friend for a really long time as well. And we had again like we had such a healthy, beautiful relationship. Um, and I just started to notice that I started to get popular, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and I was just being myself. But at that time, I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was just being myself. So fast forward to grade 8, we're about to graduate, and I was coming in from recess and I'm putting my coat on the hook, and my friend Tyler turns towards me and he was like, you know, we're nominating you for the class award, right? And I was like, what? I was like, first of all, what the fuck is that? And I'm getting nominated for an award. And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, like what? Like I didn't understand what the class award meant. And he's like, well, it's like someone who like really role models a great student. They're helping people. They're really kind and they're just serving. And I was like, oh, and you guys are nominating me. Like I literally was oblivious. I was like, oh. And in that moment, I knew what I wanted to do for my career because it was reflected back to me by my friend. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that I was like this really nice person with a big heart until that was reflected back to me by a safe person. And these people that I grew up with in elementary school, like honestly, I love them so much till this day. My, I just I felt like so safe with them and they really loved me for who I was. And they play such a huge role in the way that I show up today and my confidence because I remember I'd be outside in the schoolyard and I was known obviously as the dancer and like I didn't care who was around, like I was just always like moving my body whether there was music or not. And yeah, like it was just a really I had a really beautiful childhood growing up with these people. So anyway, I ended up getting nominated for this award and I was so happy. It was the first award that I've ever won in my life. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this feels so good to just be me and to like and to be recognized as well for just my kindness, you know? Like it had nothing to do with academics. Um, it was just like for who I was. I literally got an award for being me. And I tell you this because so the story has stuck with me. Okay, grade 8 was a long time ago for me, but this story has stuck with me because I felt like that was the catalyst for me and a pivotal moment in my life where I was like, I know exactly what I want to do. I want to help people, and I want to show up in ways where people feel safe and feel heard. And I started to embody that leadership role actually from that age, because I was like, oh, okay, people see me in authority, and like, okay, people are watching me and like seeing me as an example. Okay, like it's time to like lock in as well too. It is time to lock in, because if I'm making this big of an impact and people are seeing it, I want to make sure that I'm being conscious about it. Now, obviously, I'm not thinking exactly like this when I'm in grade 8, but now that I look back on it, that's exactly what I was doing. So, if you are somebody who is desiring to be in leadership, you have to show up in a way that if everybody's watching you and you know that you're ready to make that big ass impact on the world, that you're gonna do that, because not just because everybody's watching you, because you are integrity with exactly who you are naturally, right? Just like how I was in grade 8. I didn't know that I was a fucking nice person, and that I was like, that people were admiring me for all this shit. I had no idea until someone told me. And it's okay, guys. You know what? We have people in our lives to reflect those things back to us. Okay? Those are good things, as long as we're not codependent on it. Okay? But if you want to show up as a leader, whether that's in your family, whether that's in love, whether that is in your business, whether that's in your career, you gotta move as if like people are just literally eyes are on you. And not in a way of like you have to perform, but in a way that comes natural to you, of like, okay, yeah, eyes are on me, and I'm gonna stay in integrity with what I know is to be right. Not what other people think is right. That's not what I was doing. I was just being me, right? So you gotta stay in integrity with what you feel to be right, no matter who's watching, because that is what leadership is about. So I want to share that story. Shout out to all my elementary school friends. Like literally, you guys, I love you. I don't talk to these people that much anymore, but you guys are in my heart. And thank you so much for just reflecting back to me and being a part of this beautiful journey that continues to grow. You guys are a huge part of this, and I'm so grateful to every single one of you.